Would you welcome, please, Brock Grant?
This story takes place, I think I was 14 years old. It's the day before my birthday, and I'm awakened by two slaps to the back of the head. One by my 15-year-old brother, Bruce, and one by my 16-year-old brother, Bernard. Now, it's around Christmas time, but these slaps in the head are the key for me to get up and wash my ass and get to breakfast. Moms had already left to go to work, so we were in the house by ourselves. So when I get to the kitchen table, and my brother's like sort of a comedian, he wants to ask me, what do I want for breakfast? Like, we have variety and shit. So I kind of humored him, and I said, I want Captain Crunch. And of course, the old faithful box came out of the cabinet. It's the sugarless Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. So, that's for breakfast. So we sat there and we ate breakfast. And my oldest brother, Bernard, he finished first, and he got dressed, and he decided to go on his way for the day. So me and my middle brother, Bruce, sat there and we finished our breakfast, and we chatted for a little while. I kind of asked him what he was going to do for the day, and he was like, none of your business. Just make sure that before you leave, you wash the dishes and straighten up the house. Cool. Can't complain with that because these are the older brothers. You got to deal with it. So he gets dressed and he leaves. And I do what I'm told. I wash the dishes and I straighten up the house. Mind you, it's the day before my birthday. So you do the math. So after I finish, I get dressed and I go downstairs. Once I get outside the building, I'm greeted by my crew. Back in the day, for like in my era, if you do the math again, I was 14. Back in my day, we called them crews. We didn't have gangs or anything like that. It was just my crew, which consists of Barry, Daryl, James, and Troy. Now, I grew up with these guys on this block, and we lived in a project, so it was like a 20-story building. So, we were kind of tight-knit because we all see each other, either in the elevator or after we went to the same school or, just on the block. But me and these guys, we hung out every day. So once we got outside, we figure out what we're going to do for the day, which was we go head to the back park, play a little basketball, and play some Skelsies, which was like my favorite game at that time. We all liked it. My thing about it was that I like the tops. The tops were, if you had, the better your top was, the better you performed at the game. So we used to go across the street to the Martin Luther King. It's a health center that was right across the street from my building. And we would go to the back of it, and we would rummage through the garbage and take the old pill bottle tops, and we would take them and we would go to Woolworth and buy clay and fill the tops with clay. I would always take a piece of each color and put it in my top because I felt like the better my top looked, the better I look winning. That was just my philosophy on that day. So we played that for like maybe 2 or 3 hours, until stomach started growling. So we would go to Claremont Center and we would get free lunch for the day. It was free, so I wouldn't turn it down. I don't know about you. So after lunch, we'd come back to the building where we try to decide what we're going to do for the rest of the day. Well, the first priority was to everybody dig in their pocket and see how much change you got. So once we got up to like $3, we can get a bag of marijuana, because back then it was kind of cheap. So once we had that $3, we go get our bag of marijuana, and we go in the building, go up to my floor, which I lived on 17. We go up and sit on the exit. We roll out, smoke, and we blow our brains out. And then after that, it's the high. You have to deal with that part. So now we're trying to figure out, how are we going to get paid today? How are we going to get some money today? It didn't take too much, take too long for us to figure that out. So we decided that we were going to get our screwdrivers, and we were going to get on a train, and we're going down to Astroland and we're gonna break open the video machines and steal the quarters. So, when you're high, that was a good plan. You weren't hurting nobody. Just tearing up a game or two and hopefully get away with some money. Come back and we could do this all over again, right? So, we finally figured it out, and this is what we're gonna do. All of a sudden, the exit door opens up, and it's my oldest brother, Bernard. And he comes in the exit and orders me to come with him. And now I'm like, huh? I'm not going nowhere with you. He never lets me hang out with him. All of a sudden today, I can hang with you? And we already made a plan, but now I can hang with you, so I'm just gonna leave my boys and I'm going with you, right? Nah. But after a few well-placed punches and some persuasion, I had to bid my dudes farewell, later, I'm going with my brother. Tomorrow's my birthday. I'll probably get up with y'all tomorrow. Y'all hope y'all get lucky and y'all get that money, and maybe I'll see y'all later on in the day on the block. So, off we go. My brother takes me down to this game room in Webster. Now, all the time on our way down there, I'm like, I got this look on my face, like, I really didn't want him to see the look, but the look was like, yo, I hate your ass. Because my brother was like a fly guy on the block, because he, the stuff that we were doing, my crew were doing, they already did this stuff already. So they already had money, and they had the fly clothes. Like, my brother used to walk around with I forget what these coats called, Quarterfields. And I had an Alexander snorkel with the dog fur around the collar, so, and he's got a Lee suit on, and he's got on British Walkers, and he's like, so wherever you go, people see you and they know that if you got those type of clothes on, that you're getting some type of money. But then look at me, I got on Procas and a snorkel and a crazy winter sweater. Who's this guy? I'm like, yo. So he takes me into the game room. And in the game room, there's two sections to this game room. The front section is where, like, regular guys dressed like me hang out. And then the back section is where the fly guys like my brother hang out. Because they got a little money and all the pretty girls hang back there. And he takes me to the back room. So now I'm even more mad because, look, everybody back there is all dressed nice and I look like a bum. So I'm like, I'm tight again, but I didn't show it. So he starts introducing me to some of his friends that are in the game room, and it was really, these real pretty girls back there. And I had a complex when I was growing up because when I was about a year prior to this, I got hit in the mouth with a pool ball, and I lost my two front teeth. So, when he introduced them to me, the best I could do was like smile and wave, like, hi, I wouldn't open my mouth because I didn't want, that was my complex. So he kept me back there for a couple of hours, put a handful of quarters put some quarters in my hand and said, play the video games and have fun. And all in my mind is I'm thinking about is like, yo, my boys are probably downtown getting paid, and I'm still here dealing with this shit. So, I just dealt with it. I didn't show him that I was pissed at him, even though that whole day I was like, I hate you, So, when this portion of the day finally ended, I was like so grateful, like, oh, this shit is over. I can go back to the block, maybe meet up with my dudes. If they ain't spend up all the money or smoke up all the weed, then I could go chill with them for a little bit. Oh boy, that didn't happen. We get back to the block. Nobody's outside. It's kind of late, so it's time to go upstairs. But I didn't mind at that time anyway. At this certain time, I said, well, fuck it. Tomorrow's my birthday. Excuse that French. But tomorrow's my birthday, so tomorrow's going to be a good day for me, regardless of whether I got to hang out with my boys or not. So when I got upstairs, my main focus was to take my shower, eat my dinner, and go to bed. I don't want to hear nothing from my brother. Don't ask me, or my middle brother, don't ask me, did I have a good time, because I'm going to lie to you anyway. Yeah, yo, it was the shit, yo. Yo, it was so many pretty girls out there. Yo, I was rapping to this one and talking to that one, and none of that happened. So I was ready to go to bed. So, bam, I go to sleep, say goodnight to moms and my brothers. Couple more slaps in the back of the head by them, before you go to bed, because that's what big brothers do. to the little brother. So I take those and I go to bed. Here's the next morning. I get woken up with some more slaps to the back of the head. Pop, happy birthday. Pop, happy birthday. And I'm like, oh, not you two again. Damn, the same shit, and it's my birthday. So we get up, we go in the kitchen, and there's no milk. So somebody has to go to the store. And I'm like, fuck that, I'm not going to the store this morning. It's my birthday. So I'm kind of like trying to be the resistant one, knowing that if I don't get dressed and go to the store, that these guys are going to beat the out of me. So I get dressed and I go to the store. Now, when I get outside, I'm hoping that I might see my crew, Barry, Daryl, James, and Troy. Because, they don't slap me upside the head. They greet me with open arms. These are my dudes. I don't see anybody outside, so I walk to the store. I get the milk, and then I come back and I stop at the newsstand to get the newspaper. So after I get the newspaper, I'm coming back up the block, and I just happen to open up the newspaper and glance at one of the headlines, and it said, 4 youths were shot by a subway vigilante on I think it was the 2 or the 5 train. And as I read further, I seen the names, Barry, Daryl, Troy, and James. And I was like, oh, shit. So I run upstairs, and I show the paper to my mother and to my brother, and they're like, wow, this is, these are people that we know. One of the guys, James, he was paralyzed. The other guy had collapsed lungs, and the other 2, they weren't as worse off, but the simple fact that all 4 of them got shot by this subway vigilante, which they came to call him, named Bernard Getz. And I sat and I looked at my brother like with this look on my face like divine intervention, or is like this one of the best birthday presents that I could have ever gotten. Because if my brother didn't come on that exit and get me, instead of 4 guys on the train getting shot, it would have been 5. And I'm glad that I'm here just to tell y'all this story, so it's a blessing in disguise. Thank you very much.